Your home isn't just a house, guys. It's years of your life, thousands of memories, and likely your biggest financial investment. And I've watched way too many families lose their hard-earned equity to what I call the home selling sharks. That's why I wrote a whole book about it. And I refuse to let that happen to my YouTube friends and my clients. So what you do months or even years before putting up your home for sale, you put that sign on your lawn, that's going to determine whether you walk away with maximum profit or regret. So let me ask you, do you want to protect what's yours, your equity in your home? Because today's strategy I'm going to be talking about today could be a difference between keeping or losing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 of your home's value. And before I dive in, I'm going to tell you why you need to watch to the entire end of this video, because I'm going to reveal my secret staging checklist, one that's helped me get thousands of dollars more than other homes in the neighborhoods for all my clients with a minimum cost. It's not theory. This is a proven system. It works. Been doing it for 31 years. It works in today's market. It worked during the pandemic market. It'll work in next year's market. It just works. All right, let's get started. What is this strategy? What I call it a room by room review. It's in my book, my third shark. And if you don't do this, it could be really, really bad when it comes down to getting the money, at the end of the sale. What is this room by room? What is it? Well, it's a comprehensive assessment of your entire home conducted by a real estate expert, myself or one of my team members. It's not just a walkthrough, do this or that. It's detailed evaluation of every single space in your property, from the front curb appeal all the way to that storage closet that you haven't opened in years, in one of those. So during this review, what we'll do is we'll evaluate the saleability of each area of your home. It's every room. You can't determine what to do in this room if you don't know what you're doing in that room. So you take all the rooms and identify potential red flags the buyer might notice. And then you provide actionable feedback on improvements and then create a customized action plan for your specific property. It's like having a real estate doctor make a house call, giving you a complete diagnosis of your home's health in the current market. It's not a home inspection, it's a home staging inspection. It's a room by room review. Think of it as preventative health care that can save you costly medical bills down the road. This is preventative home assessment, right? Same thing. It can save you from costly mistakes when selling, okay? I've conducted, I would say, thousands of them, these reviews with clients. And I talk about a man named Leo in my book, whom I've mentioned a lot because Leo was amazing. We went through each one of his rooms. We created a specific strategy. We went to his basement and his garage. It just wasn't about identifying repairs. It was about creating a comprehensive plan. And Leo is just one of my many clients. The plan talks about how to present each room to potential buyers. Okay, you want them to see it online one way and in person another way. It's kind of interesting. Now you might be wondering, if I'm not planning to sell for 3 to 5 years, why should I care about this now? Well, that's the mistake people make. They make a mistake because they don't start early enough. If you start earlier than you think, and much sooner, you'll have more money in your pocket. It happens every time. Let me explain why. So first, start early gives you time to budget for improvements, because when you rush repairs, right before listing your home, you're going to pay top dollar, premium prices for contractors and materials. And by planning years in advance, you can schedule work during seasons when contractors offer discounts because they're slow. And you can spread out the expenses over time rather than all at once. You're like, oh my God, all that money, got to spend $10,000? Well, if you spend $2,000 over 5 years, okay, it's easier. You can shop for materials during sales rather than paying full price. Negotiate better rates by booking contractors during their slow periods, like I talked about earlier. Another reason why it's good to think earlier is because you'll have time to make thoughtful decisions rather than panic choices. I've seen sellers make costly mistakes because they were rushing to get their home ready in a tight deadline. And also, early preparation allows you to enjoy the improvements yourself before selling. Sellers always say, well, I always wanted to do that. Well, now you can do it and enjoy it. Why should only the next homeowner benefit from your kitchen or your freshly painted bedrooms? And in my experience, and I have a lot of it, I'd say 100% of my successful home sellers realize the importance of having a room by room at least 6 months to a year before going on the market. I love a year. The most successful ones start even earlier, maybe 2 years. So let's break down why. Why should I do this? Why should I start now when I'm only selling 2 years from now, a year from now? Well, first benefit is the expert perspective. That's me, my team. Now you live in your home every day. It makes it difficult to see it objectively. I'm thinking of selling my house. I'm like, oh, I don't need to do that. And my friend's like, yeah, you do. I don't even see things myself in my own home. An expert will bring a fresh eyes and market knowledge to identify issues you might miss. The next thing is prioritize action plan. Not all improvements are created equal. Some are $500, some are $5,000, while others expensive renovations might not barely break even. So what you want to do is prioritize. Make sure you have maximum ROI. Should you do that kitchen and bath? Maybe not. Maybe we'll just change out some light fixtures or just take out the vanity or something like that. And also, I think the big thing, a third thing is really good benefit is stress reduction. By spreading it over the timeline, you eliminate last minute things, and it really makes it stressful. And the fourth thing is competitive advantage. In today's market, buyers have high expectations. Homes that stand out command premium prices, while average homes sit longer and sell for less. It's a fact, guys. Next is negotiating power. Wow. If your home is properly prepared, you enter negotiations from a position of strength. Buyers have fewer objections to use as leverage against you. And I think a big one is time efficiency. Number 6, a properly prepared home typically sells faster. My clients who follow this strategy and sell in days, hours, definitely less than the average, depending what the average is. The average used to be 150 when it wasn't pandemic year. I was selling in 26 days. That's why my book talks about 26 days. But we've been selling them within hours and for way more money than most people will sell their home for. And another huge thing, financial protection. Hey, this is I think the most important. Protect your equity from the home selling sharks. In the back of the book, I list all the sharks. Ones you should do, ones you can do, ones you have to do. So every day your home sits on the market, every pair that comes up during inspection, every negotiating point a buyer raises. These are all opportunities for your hard-earned equity to disappear. And that's where the sharks love the most. And I want to emphasize, guys, your home doesn't need to be ready for us to come over. It's like, I need to straighten out my house so you can come over. No, you can benefit this no matter what. Homes that need the most work often benefit the most. So if you have some work to do, let's get us in there because we have a trained eye. We can see past all your clutter and your current conditions to identify what's the potential of your home. So how many steps are there in this process? I say 6. More, but this is the 6 basic ones. 1, design your home selling strategy. What is it going to be? Do you want speed? Do you want profit? Do you want minimal hassles? Some of our clients want speed. They want minimal disruption. So we do small targeted changes. Another of our clients, they want maximum return on investment. So we do a full improvement plan. It depends on what you want. You have to decide that now. Like, what is it you really want? What's important to you? And that's what your consultant needs to do. We sit down. The first thing we do is find out what's important to you. Then we can craft a plan specifically for that client. You might paint garages and basements for everybody, but that's not the idea. The idea is like what's specific for that person, you. Second step, get your list of staging ideas. Get your consultant in there, neutralize bold paint, declutter, rearrange furniture, improve lighting, update fixtures. I have a whole list in the book and online. Adjust curb appeal. Your choice, do some, do all, or none. But know the impact of each. Know that if you spend $500 here, you're going to get down another $5,000 there. That's a good investment. Next step, we're going to review the home inspection repairs. You know we do home inspections, a pre-home inspection. You pay for that. And it's one of my whole sharks in my book. Go through them. It shows hidden problems. And we'll help you tell you what to fix. What must fixes. You weigh the costs versus negotiating risk and then disclose minor issues. You do all these different things because the buyer is going to be wondering what's happening with the house, and 50% of the time they won't do another inspection. I talk a lot about that in the book and on my pre-home inspection video that I've done. Next step, I think we're on 4, get estimates. Know what you're signing up for. How we help you is we gather estimates with our contractor who are always better than anybody else. We suggest cheaper alternatives, recommend contractors, all those different things. Get estimates and you can know which ones to do. Don't ask me what to do until I get the numbers. I want to know what it's going to cost, because step 5 is to decide what to do based upon the numbers. You just don't want to spend money, spend it smart. What we'll do with you is your consultant, your consultant should do, whatever agent you have, should analyze the return on investment with you. Because the goal is to get 2 to 3 times return on your improvements, right? You want to make some money off of this. Avoid the flashy upgrades as well with no buyer appeal. Don't do any of those. And then your last step is to hire the contractors and execute. Maybe it's over a whole year. Use off-season discounts. I talked about that. Monitor the progress. No stress then. You'll have no surprises, no stress with this plan. It's a great plan. So what's on the secret staging checklist? Well, it's down below. You can click it and get a free copy. Well, also we update it constantly to reflect what buyers want right now. It changes all the time. But these are the basics. Curb appeal, you want to make sure you have curb appeal, entryways, your living spaces, kitchens and baths, utility spaces like closets, storage areas, garage, basement, things like that. Because buyers, they don't buy square footage, they buy lifestyle. So the checklist that we have for you will help you sell that lifestyle. All the different things you can do, all these different areas. You go through each part of the house, like we talked. That's why it's called a room by room review. And I have tons of success stories. I have Maria and John. They really needed a $30,000 renovation, but with only $7,000, I was able to save them that money, and we sold the house in 9 days for $25,000 more. We didn't need to spend all that. So don't think you have to do all these things. Like I'll go to a seller's house, I'm like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm like, no, we're not doing any of that. This is what we're doing. It's funny how you think what you need to do and then what we actually come and see. And you can watch tons of videos. Nothing's gonna replace this room by room, guys, with a real deal realtor, someone I can refer you to. Other life stories that we've had, Robert, man, he had a basement that was wet and all kinds of stuff going on with this house. It overgrown, his whole landscape, it was just so much going on. We did so many different things. We ended up getting $125,000 more than if we did nothing. And there are other realtors had come in telling them to do nothing. And I was like, no, this is what we're gonna do. I always tell people, bring me in last, because I'll tell you the truth. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for a real deal realtor. And then I also had another family, it was probate, and there was a lot of things going on. Everybody, there was like one executor, but 5 siblings, and all wanted this and that, and keeping that all under control of what they needed to do. They wanted to do like $35,000 worth of upgrades, and I was like, no, we're gonna do $5,000, and I ended up getting them so much more money just by doing little things like just painting the basement and garage. Don't make it feel like it was an estate home. Buyers love that. And also, getting an inspection on an estate home is necessary. Don't listen to the lawyers, because the lawyers will tell you, don't do that. It's good to do, because then people will see what's there, and it's easier to sell something when it doesn't look so good. So how do you get started? Well, we offer free 30-minute room-by-room reviews to everybody who comes to my seminars, and Montgomery, Bucks County, Chester, Philadelphia, Delaware County, to South Jersey. And if you're online, because a lot of you are, and have called to look for a realtor, we do them online for 30 minutes through FaceTime or through Zoom. We do an online look, and we do it for free. So it's easy to do. And you're gonna get a copy of my staging checklist, our guidebook, and again, if you're not local, we'll do a room by room for 30 minutes, and then we'll help you hire a consultant who does the things that we do, and then we'll monitor them throughout the process and make sure they do it. It's better when we call, because when you call, they'll say one thing, and we call, they'll say another thing, and usually the truth is what they tell us, not that they tell you. So, what does all this mean? Let's circle back to the 2 questions I asked at the beginning. Are you ready to differentiate your home from the competition? And are you willing to do what it takes? If your answer is no, don't hire me. Don't ask me to hire one for you. But if your answer is yes, then schedule a professional room-by-room review. That's your next logical step. I don't care if it's 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. It's not about prepping your home for sale. It's about putting a strategy in place that keeps more money in your pocket, guys, and helps you avoid the common and costly traps that catch unprepared sellers. And speaking of traps, make sure you watch our next video, why this home seller got banned and lost it all. Avoid this mistake. It's a real eye-opener. It shows exactly what happens when the seller ignores the warning signs and walks straight into the jaws of the home selling shark. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one.